Thank you, Victoria. Boy, I cannot even follow that, but it's great to see so many people here today. Wasn't it great to see the success up front?
Yes.
And everybody in this room can have the same success. That's the Atomy system. It's just a matter of time. So it's my pleasure to share with you how we can do it. What's the compensation plan and what's the marketing plan? Is everybody ready to hear it?
Yes.
All right, well, let's go. Well, Atomy is a very simple system. It's all about the products. It begins and ends with the products. You've heard the wonderful products today. Terry gave a great presentation. They have absolute high quality at absolute low price. Did you get that? Absolute high quality at absolute low price. There's nowhere else you can shop to have that choice. It's either absolute quality with a high price at one store, or you get the cheap stuff, but the quality is not so good, right? So Atomy offers this because the company is built for customer success. CEO Park wants consumers to be happy, healthy, and save money. And so it all starts and ends with the products. And what happens is the company makes money and we make money because consumers voluntarily reorder. Why wouldn't you buy something else, anywhere else, if you have the Atomy option? Okay? So because consumers buy it, that creates residual income. And residual income is excellent because it means that you have money coming in no matter what you're doing at that point. Okay? It's like having a bank account paying you interest. That's residual income. And that's what Atomy offers if you stick with it. Okay? So Atomy is not business driven. There's a lot of other companies that promise you a lot of things, but the first thing they do is for themselves. They charge you a recruiting fee or something else. And most of the money that the company makes is from those fees. And that's what we would call a business driven. Anybody ever heard of the company name Amazon?
Yes.
They offer the Prime service, $99. They make $4 billion with a B, dollars a year just on their fees. That's what I call a business-driven system. That is not Atomy. Atomy is a consumer-driven because the consumers voluntarily reorder on their online shopping mall. Well, let's find out how that works for a minute. At Atomy, you have your own personal shopping mall, okay? This is a partial photo of the image of our site. But what happens is when you join Atomy, you pay nothing. You pay no joining fees, you pay no website fees, you pay no annual fees, no monthly fees. There's just no fees. How much can I tell you? There's 0 fees. And that's a beautiful thing. And there's no purchasing requirement. There's no monthly requirement. There's no auto ship. We don't take your credit card when you sign up. Okay? You just have your personal identification number and you're off and running. And everything now is e-commerce, right? E-shopping. Everybody's doing it. You know how much e-shopping happened in just America last year? Almost $16 billion. Everything's moving over to e-commerce. And all the department stores will close in another 10 to 15 years. Why, just between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday in the United States, $3.5 billion of purchases online. So this is the trend, folks. But Atomy offers us a way to save money to be healthy. And tonight we're going to learn how to make income from Atomy. So it all starts with the products. You've seen a bunch of the products. They're everyday necessary products. You're going to buy it from somebody. And what you do with Atomy is you switch your shopping to your Atomy personal store. Why wouldn't you? You accumulate point values. We call them PV for every product that you buy. So as an example, with the toothpaste set, you get buy 5 tubes, the 200-gram tubes, the good size one, $17 a set before taxes, and then you receive 2,500 PV. PV, that's what you have to remember. Every product has it. You heard the omega-3, $20.50 for 3-month supply, and it's 6,400 PV. And then all the different skincare 6-system set items, they're only $17 each if you buy them individually, and you get 5,000 per item if you buy 1 unit. If you buy the whole set for $88, you receive 25,000 PV. You also have the option, it's your option, if you want to get 100,000 PV for that purchase, $159. Now that only means somebody who's trying to get to the next level and they need a few more points to get a check. So that's just a strategic thing. But everybody can get a box of the skincare set, $88, and receive the 25,000 PV. And then we have our wonderful Hemoheme, which is for men and women. The him is not for the he. It's for men and women. And we still have 4 price points for this. If you buy one box, it's $159 for the box, and you receive 100,000 PV. But if you want to get the lowest price, you buy 4 boxes, and the order amount would be $352 for the unit price of $159, and you receive 100,000 PV. Now, no one has to pay anything more than $88 because if you don't need 4 right now, you may want to share some with your family, or you may buy it with your partner. You buy 2, he buys 2, or she. And so you can always get the lowest price of Hemoheme because it's about health. And the company continuously reduces the price so that a lot of people can receive the benefits of the Hemoheme. But this is how we get the point values. As you're shopping, and you're shopping initially under your own member number, you're accumulating points first under your own member number. Now, there's 2 big ways that we convert the PV into money. Does anybody want to know about that? Yes. Because we want to know how to make the money. Sure. Well, there's a general commission and there's the master bonus. I'm going to talk about both of them briefly tonight so you can understand the main concepts. If you have questions after the meeting or at another time, you can ask your sponsor. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a review to understand completely, but this is trying to give you the basics, okay? So remember, in Atomy, we keep the same consumer number to make money. We don't have to get a different number, and it's for global. There are some other companies out there that if you do income earning in another country, you have to start from scratch. You may be the highest level in one country, but you have to start from scratch. Not in Atomy. You have one member number for life, and that's it. Now, there are no fees to do business as well. There are no obligations, and there's no investment. You don't have to do anything but say, hey, I want to make some money in Atomy because I love the products. And you just start to talk to your sponsor, your fellow partners, and come to the meetings to learn more. That's all it takes to get started after you're a consumer. Now, I want to tell you one thing that's really different about Atomy before we go into the details of how you make money. First of all, this is the typical structure of every business. What does it look like? A what? A pyramid. Yeah, because all these companies are pyramid schemes. You know, General Motors is a pyramid scheme. Google is a pyramid scheme. You know, there's a few people at the top that make all the money. 90% of the money are the 1% of the company. And the rest of the people, the 90%, are fighting for the rest of the 1% of the money. That's Google, like I say. That's Facebook. You know, all these other companies. That's Walmart. That's Amazon. You know, Steve Bezos has $70 billion of personal wealth. He's the second most wealthy person in the world. Some of his billions of dollars came from me shopping for his books. Did it come from any of you? I say stop it and shop at Atomy because we're going to have all the products in the future. That's the old style. We don't claim anything wrong with it. That's just the way the world has been since capitalism formed. That's the distribution of wealth in the old days. And you know what happens? The people at the top making the money, when the economy gets good or the business gets good, they just keep getting more and more money. And the 90% of the people are still struggling for this small amount. That's the old world pre-Atomy. We're not doing that anymore because Mr. Park is generous. And he created this new economic model for the people. Okay? He's very generous. And so what Mr. Park did was he cut that top off because in Atomy, it's an equal chance for success. He cut the top off of that pyramid scheme, and he did this. He set a limit that everybody has the opportunity equally to earn $50,000 per month. That's a lot of money, right? That's $600,000 a year. Actually, in New Jersey, that puts you in the 1% because you only need $400,000 to be considered in the 1% New Jersey. Atlanta may be a couple $100,000, depends on the city you live in, the cost of living. But he cut this off. Why? Because he's pushing all that other money that these other companies would give it to those few people. He's pushing it down into the pool to share among all the especially the beginners. So that's why this is a revolutionary economic model. I used to be a business consultant, and I helped many companies. They're all pyramid schemes, and they would go scared about this because they don't want to lose their money at the top. I've even talked to somebody who's related to Wall Street bankers, and they don't understand the power of Atomy. But the money comes down to the bottom so that everybody can have an equal chance to the success. Now, we have 7 levels in Atomy. You've heard about the sales masters. We're going to talk about it in more detail, but that's the most difficult one to reach. And once you reach that, you have a structure of consumers, because it's a consumer-driven company, that you'll be able to go up to the other levels, which are Diamond Master, and then Sharon Rose Master, Star Master, Royal Master, Crown Master. And when you hit Imperial Master, you've basically hit that limit of your income. That's it. So if anybody wants to make more than $600,000, if they're very greedy and they want to make $10 million like some of these other companies, this is not the place for you. But it's funny because I talked to some people who do that kind of business called the MLM business. And when I heard this, they said, what do you mean there's a limit? $600,000 a year? Our company, we can make $10 million or $20 million. And I said, really? And how often have you made $1 million a year? And they had to be quiet because they didn't. They just thought they could. Okay, but everybody can make this here. And it doesn't matter how much time you need to make it. That's the system. And you'll see the details of that. But you can make it in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. It doesn't matter. Mr. Park created this so that we can all be successful if we just keep at it. Okay, that's what we have to do. And did we say there were no fees, no obligations, and no investment? There are no fees, no obligations, and no investment. Where can you have a deal like that? Anywhere else? No. Only at Atomy. That's why this is a beautiful system. So let's get into it. Our general commission bucket of money. How do you make this money? How do you turn the PV into cash? Okay, first of all, when you buy initially, you're buying under your personal account because you have a personal PV account, and that makes you qualified to make money. So what that means is we have 4 levels of qualification to receive different size checks. So at 300,000, 700, 1.5 million, and 2.4 million, at that level, you receive a certain size check. But actually, Mr. Park made it very easy this year. He made it more simple because he put in 2 options. One is this 300,000, and once you get that, you're set for life, okay? There's no resets. There's no income, but you're qualified. So practically speaking, if you get 300,000, you are eligible to receive your first level check, and then a second option will kick in based on volume. So just remember, let's get to this 300,000 in your personal account. It doesn't reset, and you're qualified to receive checks. So let's talk about how you actually receive checks. And you know what the simple answer is? Just by shopping. When we all shop, we're all receiving PV in our personal accounts. But the beauty of it is that we're also giving points to our groups. Now, Atomy is two lines, okay? It's a binary system, 2 lines, okay, or 2 groups. So we have a left group and a right group. And you come in to Atomy and someone signs you up and you're already on one line in one group. Okay? And what happens is that you're going to start to, introduce products because someone's going to say, wow, your skin cleared up. What are you using? You say, Skincare 6 system. Can I get some? How do I do it? You sign them up. Here's your Skincare 6 system. It's only $88 for the whole set? Does it really work? Yeah, look at my face. Now, Mrs. Lee is going to buy her Skincare 6 system under her own personal PV to get qualified, but her 100,000 points for that order is going to go into everybody above her, into their left group. Now, Mr. Kim's going to buy his Hemoheme, get his 100,000, and that goes into his personal account to get him qualified, but it also counts as my left group PV, as well as anybody above him. So what happens is that people are on the left and the right. Whatever they buy is benefiting their personal PV, and it's also benefiting anybody above them. Okay? Now, why is this important? Because the way that we pay out the checks is based on the consumption on the left leg and the right leg. So eventually what happens is your group PV starts to grow just by people shopping, driven by the wonderful products. So eventually you're going to have $300,000 on your left leg and $300,000 on your right leg, and that's the formula for being paid $70. Okay? That's calculated daily. Your points are calculated daily. You have a free website page, My Office. You can see the points accumulating from anybody who's connected to you, and you'll see those points, and you'll get $70. Now, volume will increase, and at $700 on each leg, you'll have a check for $140 daily, at 1.5, 280, and then $420 when it reaches 2.4 million on each leg. 6 million is 700. 20 million on each leg is 1180, and finally the 50 million PV is $1,400. This is the maximum of general commission. It equals about $35,000, and that goes into that part of the 50,000 total. So $35,000 a month. That's $400,000 a year just from general commission. Okay? Now, what's important to remember about this is a couple things. First of all, the system is designed to be very generous to the beginners. So if you can see, you get paid $70 at the 300,000 level, okay, of quantity of points. But as you go up and you get more volume because there's more people below you, then let's say 6 million. You're getting $700, which is 10 times the check, but you actually had to have 20 times the consumption. That means the payout rate is only 50%. So as people go up in the system, their payout rate gets less because we give more money to the beginners, because we want people to be successful at the beginning, make money, stay in the system, because Mr. Park wants a lot of mini rich people. 600,000 is a year is a lot of mini rich people. So that's why one of the reasons why it's generous. Why else is it generous? So that's the payout rate goes down as you go up. Now, Atomy is generous because unlimited levels of people down are contributing to your group points. Unlimited levels. There's no level limit. We're not an MLM. They have a level limit. And after that level, if you have a super consumer, you don't get credit for it in the other companies. But in Atomy, you could have 10,000 people down, 1 million. There are 7 billion people in the world. Someone's going to have 1 billion people on each leg. Maybe you and maybe me. We don't know. So unlimited levels go up. Now remember, we have the cap on the top, so it makes sense, right? You only get earnings up to 50,000. So even though you get those points, if you had 1 billion people on each leg, you don't get all that commission. It goes to the beginners. But the point is, at the beginning, until you hit the 50,000, it's very generous. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is that just like the qualification points that don't go away, there's no reset, because other companies reset your qualification every month. We don't do that. Also, your points do not reset until you receive a check. That's huge for anybody that's ever tried this before with another company, because the other companies usually reset every month on your group points. No, they stay there until you receive the money. Now, it's also important for beginners to realize that some people say, oh, boy, I'm giving all the help to my upline, They're getting all my points, and I'm not getting paid, Some people will say, oh, I got, $70 check. I got 300,000 on the right leg and 6 million on the left. And I talk to them, and I think they're going to be happy for their first check. And they say, yeah, that was good, but what happened to my other 5.7 million points? Because they do go away when you get your first check. See, they do go away once you get your check. But when they said, what happened to my 5.7 million legs? I said, nicely, excuse me, your 5.7? Do you know all those people on that leg that I happened to introduce and my partner happened to introduce, and they did their shopping before you even knew there was a meeting to make money? The point is that we're a very fair system, and eventually you have to make your second leg, see? Because points are building up on one leg even before you know you can make money. I know me and my wife, we didn't even know we could make money. We were shopping for a year, and enjoying the products. So there's millions of points on the leg. So that's only fair. You have to get active. The other thing is you have to remember it's a binary system. It means 2 legs. It doesn't mean 1 leg. Don't be a socialist or a communist. Everybody's responsible for 2 legs, and you'll see why when you see the bonus. It's really important, okay? So that's what it is. And remember, unlimited levels, the money stays till it's paid. It's the total sum. Those are all very generous. It's meant for you to be successful. What else? It's based on the smaller leg, as we just said. If you have 300,000 on one leg and 6 million on the other, you only get a check for $70. You don't get a check for $700. But also remember, once you reach your 300,000 on your personal PV, you're still going to shop, right? Because you love the products. Where are you going to put your points now? Do you know where you're going to put them? The very bottom. The very bottom. So it's a two-way street. People are shopping down here and giving me points in my leg, you know, my group points. But I'm also I keep shopping, and so does everybody else above you, and they're going to put them below because that all trickles up, and that's part of the synergy and the beauty of Atomy. That's a little practical thing that you should learn from your sponsor. And, you know, and where do you put those points? You think about people who are active, who really want to make money, who come to the meetings because they're working so hard. Sometimes you throw them 20,000 into their personal PV at the beginning, maybe 50,000. You help them out if they show, you know, ambition, because we can help each other that way. So there's a lot of practical things to do it, but the main points here are it's very generous. There's a formula here, but the simplest thing is just shop and work with your sponsor and come to the meetings, and you'll see that you can get points coming before you even know it. The last part to get up to that last level, the last 5% to get up to the mastership, maybe you have to do an effort, but usually most of the work is being done by the products and the consumers, because remember, we're consumer driven. So just, you know, introduce to the consumers. Let's move on from there. It's a global business as well. So all these countries are opening up and people are shopping, and those points are coming to us as well. All over, you know, we're in about 9 countries now, and we're opening up all these other countries. You saw it on the video. And the idea is there's going to be 30 or 40 companies within a few more years. So you're a global business, and guess what? You don't even have to go to those countries, because probably your neighbor or your college friend or your work friend from before, they may know somebody, or they may be from another country. They may be from Mexico. They may know someone from Malaysia, right? They may know someone from the Philippines. So you don't always have to get on the plane to go there. Just train your people up here. You know, if you want to, you can, but you don't have to, because New Jersey is a beautiful place. Look at this room. Every shade of skin color. So many countries. We are the world in New Jersey. And our global reach is incredible, and it's so wonderful when you wake up in the morning, like someone said, Terry said, or somebody, but we love that. Who shopped in Korea today? Who was shopping in Singapore? Oh, look at my points. That's what this is like. It does take effort, but after a while, the point is that you have a structure, and the structure of consumers that are voluntarily ordering is what drives the income for everybody. Now, these 7 levels of mastership are what brings us our bonus, okay? Let's talk about the bonus for just a minute. We heard these 7 levels, and the bonus pool is shared like this. Another generous structure. 50% of the bonus pool goes to the sales master level. Unheard of. Anybody work for a company where the boss paid the new hires that year the majority of the bonus? I've never heard of it. It doesn't happen at a company. It doesn't happen at Wall Street. It doesn't happen at a school. It doesn't happen in the military. It doesn't happen in the government. But at Atomy, 50% of the bonus money goes to the sales masters, because we want your success. And it is the hardest one, because you're introducing people who don't have an open mind sometimes. It takes them a while to try to use the product. It takes them a while to come to the meeting. It takes them a while to realize, hey, this is legitimate. And sometimes it takes people a while because it's so simple. And they're looking for the gimmick, or they came from another system and it was so complicated. So that's why it takes time. But sales master is the hardest one. So let's talk about how to get there and what's practically to do. So our bonus system is based on half the month, the 1st to the 15th and the 16th to the 31st. So what happens is you need 2.5 million PV on each leg to be called a sales master, okay? That means in the process of that, you've gotten at least 8 checks of 300,000 with 300,000 points. If that's, you got the 8 checks, you have to maybe buy 100,000, unless the consumers are keep buying, then you don't. But if you do need that 100,000, that's where you can buy a single box of Hemoheme or a single box of skincare system, because you're going to sell it anyway and you're going to make money and you get this sales master. And the reason you do that is because it pays, because by that point, just in commissions, you've made $560 for those 2 weeks, and $450 bonus kicks in. So you get $1,000 for that half of the month. Okay? So 8 checks basically gets you to the point where you're making $560 in commission plus the $450, $1,000. Okay? That happens the second half of the month. Now you have your $2,000 a month, which makes you have the title of Sales Master. Okay? And so that's what happens. Now, at the beginning, because you have to introduce people, and some people, take time, and because the products last so long, our products last 4 or 5 months. So if someone just started with the skincare system, they're not going to come back for another 4 months. So that's why sometimes it takes time. So you have to introduce a lot of people, so gradually, but then they're going to be a loyal consumer. And they're going to start using our 50, we have over 60 products, I think, in America, 150 in Korea. We're going to have 100,000 someday. Okay? Once they're a loyal consumer, they're going to start to use more and more, and then the points are going to go up. But once you get one time, you're a sales master. But guess what? After a while, it's going to be a steady level like that, and you're going to always make 2,000. Okay? And this becomes an auto sales master. Auto, because the prices can't be beat, and, the products are so good, and the people are hooked. There's no reason for them to switch. So at every level, there's an auto level. Okay? That's what it is. And not only for you, but this is now residual income for you and for your children, your grandchildren, or you can designate 3 levels down. Okay? This is when you have residual income. Now, practically speaking, how do you do this? To get the $1,000 for that half of month, to get those 2.5 million PV, what do you need? We look at it one way as how many loyal consumers do you need? Okay? Now, if you have a loyal consumer household who generate 100,000 PV a month, which is pretty easy to do, it's roughly about 15 products. But how many people use at least 5 products a month here? Could you raise your hand? Could you keep your hand up if you use 10 products a month? 20 products a month? Keep them up. 30 products a month? Keep them up. 40 products, look around. 40 products a month, 50 products a month, 60 products a month? That's as much as I use, so I won't go further. Some of us get some of the products from Korea because they're not here yet, so some of us have even more. The point is, those are the crazy, crazy loyal consumers. That's 200,000 or 300,000 in just a family. But if you have about 10 to 15 products a month, you're considered a loyal consumer to generate this volume of 100,000 PV, okay? So based on that basic loyal consumer, you need 25 households on each leg to get that $1,000, 25 households. And to get the second 1,000, you need another 25 on each leg. So that's a total of 50 households on each leg, or 100 households per leg, being loyal consumers at that 100,000 point level. And that gives you the volume of, the 2.5 and the 2.5, or 5 million on each leg. So you need 100 households who are loyal consumers. Now, they didn't have to buy anything. They're saving money. They're enjoying the product. And some of them are popping up and say, you make money? Can I come in with you? How do I do this? What do I have to pay? What's my starter package? It's, no, just shop. That's what we say, and come to the meetings, right? So 100 households, but guess what? Does that sound like a lot? How many people think that sounds like a lot? Okay, some people. Some people know. Our $2,000 a month is equal to having about $2 million in the bank and getting interest. Because interest is less than 1% these days. So if you had $2 million in the bank, you could make $2,000 a month. What's harder? Saving an extra $2 million a month? Or getting 100 households loyally buying? $2 million a month? Any takers? No? How about getting 100 households? 100 households is easier? Raise your hand. Much easier. And it gets easier. You know why? You don't need 100 households. You know, we're a binary system. If you get 10 people, and one of them gets another 10 people, and one of those 10 gets another 10 people, you really focus on the first 10 people. But it gets easier than that. Focus first on yourself to be a loyal consumer. If I'm a loyal consumer, and I've already switched, so I'm well over 100,000. And if you're a loyal consumer and the person next to you, just shop for yourself. And everybody shopping for their own purposes creates all these households. So that's how easy it is. So what do you do to start? Be a loyal consumer. Save money. Be healthy. What's hard about that? Anything? No. Share your testimonials. Testimonials is how it worked for you. We've heard so many testimonials of people who have solved severe acne situations. Eczema on their leg, acne through the AC solution, right? How about people that have pain, joint pains that couldn't walk up the stairs, you know, hemoheme. How about my partner whose mother had eczema on her legs, scratching. It was so dry and she was bleeding. And she used the Body Rich, $11. And now she tells all her friends, you know, this is like medicine, but it's not medicine. It's just the special quality of those essential, the quality of the product. So you share your testimonials. Now, you don't even have to share your testimonials by initiating it. You don't have to go out and sell. Did anybody know that? You don't have to sell an Atomy. Because why? We share, but also we listen. Because everybody I know complains. My back hurts. I can't go out to do the tango tonight. Well, have some hemoheme. You'll feel good. Right? I have acne. I'm all stressed out. Well, you know, AC solution and take hemoheme and get rid of your stress. I lost my job, you know. Well, come out to this meeting. You'll get all excited, you know. We're a lot of positive people. So you have to come to the meetings also to hear the positive stories, the testimonials. And did anybody tell you that the meetings, the weekly meetings and the monthly seminar, one-day seminar, you know how much they cost? They're free. We're free. So how much can you make with Atomy? With Sales Master, $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Diamond Master, $4,000 to $10,000. Sharon Rose, $10,000 to $20,000. Star Master, $20,000 to $40,000. Royal Master, $40,000 to $45,000. Crown Master, $45,000 to $50,000. And Imperial Master, about $50,000 a month, including your bonus and your general commission. Now, that's good money. We know that, and that's the formula. But guess what? People are making that money. There are people in this room that are Sales Masters, Diamond Masters, Sharon Rose Masters, even Star Master Judy Shim and Jason Shim, who started this center. They're making $20,000 a month. But guess what? The Sales Master is about consumers, introducing to consumers, but from Diamond Master up, it's about being a leader, okay? It's about being a leader. It's about building two legs, because you have to bring up two Sales Masters on each leg. See? Two Sales Masters on each leg to achieve Diamond Master. It's not just that you have volume. And every level is like that. Even Imperial Master, they have to bring up two Crown Masters on each leg. That's why I say you have to build two legs. You can be lazy at the beginning and make money by just doing one leg, but guess what? You won't know anybody on that other leg. You'll never be able to bring them up, because you won't have the relationship. You won't have the synergy of mind and purpose and be able to give them awards to each other. You know? You won't have that effect. So that's why you have to build two legs. So that's what it's about to make that money. And there's also promotional gifts. At Sales and Diamond Masters, you get 3 of these. I have to put that picture in. And then Diamond Master, you get a laptop. Okay, these are promotional gifts. Sharon Rose Masters, you get a $2,000 a month bonus. A one-time bonus, plus 2 travel tickets at Sharon Rose Master. Star Master, $10,000 one-time bonus, and then 4 travel tickets. It's wonderful, right? We know people here have gone on that trip. This is their travel trip. Jason and Judy Shim. So people have done this. Oh, and then what else? Royal Master, $50,000 one-time bonus. A $1,000 lease for car, 4 travel tickets, and now the monthly expense account kicks in, $2,000 a month. But it gets better. Crown Master, $300,000. Okay? And a $64,000 car. Now you need 2 garages. 4 travel tickets, and now $5,000 a month of expense account. And then the ultimate level of success is our Imperial Master, right? How many people want to be Imperial Master? Here's why. Here's why they want to be Imperial Master. Because they get $1 million cash money. One-time bonus. Delivered in cash on a forklift that Mr. Park has already pre-ordered. Guess what? We have 3 people at that level of Crown Master about to get to that level. A chauffeur-driven car of $78,000 value. An office of about 2,000 square feet, which is like a luxury condominium in Fort Lee, right? 4 travel tickets now to Europe, all right? And then $10,000 a month in expense account to spoil your partners. $120,000 a year. All the restaurant owners are going to love you. They're going to know your name and your birth date and everything about you and your partners are going to be so happy because we get to be the holy rich. We're going to make money $600,000 a year plus another 120 plus a driver. Now we are ambassadors of Atomy. We are ladies and gentlemen, and we have to do a balanced life scenario that Mr. Park teaches us to do. He's preparing us so that we're not like the people who hit the lottery, don't know what to do with the money, don't know how to manage their life, the requests from all the people. So this is a possibility for everybody, and we're getting ready for it. Now, these are real people achieving this money. Look, Jason and Judy Shim. Jason's out there, $10,000 one-time cash bonus, and these are Royal Masters. We also have the people who made the $300,000, the Crown Masters. Look at that. These are real people. They got the car. They got the travel ticket. They got the $300,000 suitcase. Now, I told you last time, I'm going to buy a nicer suitcase for my $300,000, okay? It's going to be a little fancy, and I'm going to put it in my limousine car, right? $300,000. And look at Mr. Park, our CEO. I've never seen a CEO so happy to give away money to his people. Have you ever seen a person so happy to give away money? He is so happy when people succeed. And guess what? The success is growing. Now, this is a year-old data, and I have to update it, but this is the evidence now. The company started 3 years earlier in Korea, so that's why more of the people are at the top level right now, but we're going to catch up. Now, we have a leaders club of people who make over 100,000, and it used to be a year ago it was about 200 people, but now it's actually about 300 people. That's evidence, too, that we're growing. So another 100 people this year made it to the 100,000 a year club. Now we have Royal Leaders Club, $200,000 a year and over. That's Jason and Judy Shim. And this is real. You can see the evidence. And we see people that we met 2 or 3 years ago, and everybody's climbing up this ladder to success because they do what? They stick with it. Okay? So what you have to do is simple. Shop for yourself, share, come to the meetings, and remember the most important thing. Don't give up. Don't give up. What did I say? Just don't give up. And we'll all be successful presidents making close to $1 million in cash and prizes, and we can give back to the world. That's what I like about it most. We are going to have an impact. Each of us, $600,000 a year, 30 people here, millions of dollars represented. We can build hospitals. We can send kids to school. We can do missionary work, whatever we want to do, because we're going to have this can-do attitude, right? So thank you for listening, and good luck, and we're all going to be successful at the top. Thank you.